Good evening, everybody. And you join me immediately as I discover a problem uh, with YouTube, which has decided, for whatever reason, that it's not going to stream. And it took a bit of persuasion to get the YouTube stream started. So I have had to go over to YouTube Studio and actually delete the scheduled stream, which would otherwise have been working, and delete that, and then, oh, this is irritating. So that there's only one scheduled stream, which is the one that's running right now. And I am actually having, on the fly, to fix this as I sit here, which is profoundly irritating. So you're going to have to give me a moment. And unfortunately, I had no indication and no way of knowing that this was going to be a problem until such time as the stream started. Oops, and I can't spell apparently. So hopefully that will fix everything. I do apologize. Not my favorite way of starting a stream, having to deal with technical issues, but I suppose there's plenty of precedent for that, and I think we should be okay. Yeah, it looks like it's... Yeah, looks like we're okay. All right. And Twitch is still going. All right. Sorry about that. The travails of a live streamer. Even when you think you got everything right, everything goes horribly wrong. So, welcome back. Oh, excuse me. I think that's got everything. No. Cross fingers, and I hope everybody who was waiting in the original live stream was able to find it. Apparently there's something about Fomorian disruptors or what have you. But one of the things I'm still trying to do is sort out Titania Prime's machine pistols. Because they are technically her primary weapon when in flight. And it's very tempting. I've seen sort of two approaches to this. One is to simply maximize the damage and then use the try and use the combination mods, which, for example, do things like accelerated isotope, where you get the bonus of 60% radiation, 40% fire rate. I think some of these are called, or ice storm, capacity and cold, magnetic and critical damage. There's one approach is sort of to put as many of those on as possible and go with that. The other approach is the one that I've kind of gone at here, where you have two specific elementals, so primed, heated, charge. Well, in fact, that's the only one I've got, and slash, and then try and maximize multi-shot damage. Oh, this one's doing fire rate and multi-shot, critical damage, status chance, this kind of thing. As far as I can tell, I've actually got a pretty much It's not quite the maximum I could get. I could, for example, put kind of stinger. No, hang on. Yeah, kind of stinger on, which would increase the critical chance. Increase that, but where would I put it? It's difficult to know where to put it. It's perpetual agony. That's a particularly useful way of putting it. This is actually more or less my normal approach. You don't just throw elementals at it. You just focus on the couple that you want and then try and maximize everything else. Which is why I've got moderately high critical chance, critical damage, and status effects. My fire rate's fairly good, but the magazine, I've had to compromise really on the magazine capacity. How does it work? Well, I guess that's what we're going to find out. So, for example, if I say, right, I want viral, I've got a couple of choices. I can stick Ice Storm on, which would give me magazine capacity and 40% cold. Or I could just say, well, no, let's just stick Deep Freeze on. So I would replace, grief, what am I saying? Yeah, put Deep Freeze on here, for example, and then Pathogen rounds instead of, I don't know, Lethal Torrent, Target Cracker. Yeah, you get the damage, but your critical chance has dropped a bit, but your status and your critical chance goes up. Is that worth doing? I honestly don't know, and I'm about to go and try and find out. The only thing that I can really do to improve that situation is some of the better mods. Yeah, well, increase the primed, essentially, before which I need endo. And possibly doing a reformer job on some things. So we'll have a quick bash. Oh, let's do just to see. This is not the greatest test in the world for this kind of thing, but it might give me some idea. The other thing I want to try and have a look at is what essentially do single shots do from a machine pistol. That might give me a better idea of what I'm playing with. None of this is really going to help it on the steel path, I don't think. There's only so much you can do. Let me see. So,
the enemy is at our doorstep. You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive.
Transference signal strong. We're ready for battle.
That's quite a bit. Really? Ah, you'll have to tell me about that when I get the chance. Oh, wow. This is just single shots I'm doing here. That's actually moderately impressive. That's actually not bad. That's literally a single shot. Well, okay, with a multi-shot, yeah, you know what I mean, it's one click. I had not tried until pretty much just then. I had not tried to see what happens if you just try single shots with a machine pistol. That's actually interesting. It answers a question in my head, because there was something I was wondering. To do all these critical statuses and what have you that you apply, do they apply to each shot that you hit, or does it apply to the duration of a particular attack? That looks like single shot. Which is interesting. That somewhat changes my perspective, because yeah. Okay. That's actually rather good to know. Because I'm not doing headshots here. I'm just going to leave that to themselves, because I can't figure out who's the good guy and who's the bad guy there. Oh. Stay with the bad guy. Okay.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy.
Yeah, I do. That's basically. Oh.
Continue to defend. You will be rewarded for your bravery.
I have done that. That's.
Defend the cargo until reinforcements arrive.
That is basically what I've been doing.
We're ready for battle.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
But this whole what does a single shot do thing that I'm just playing with now is new to me. I hadn't really thought about doing that before. It was something like a Natterak where you're only getting the one shot. Because I'm solo here, I'm having to... No, I mean, obviously, yes, I do look at the change it makes.
Move and strike. We have to win this.
The thing that, well, somewhat bothers me, maybe it's just I don't know. I'm not as fast thinker as I used to be. It's old age creeping up on me. Because otherwise you'd just maximize for damage. Well, no, you wouldn't. The thing is, you can't get everything. You want to maximize for damage, sure, but then you want to maximize your chance for criticals, and you want to balance that with the fire rate. It's it's a delicate little dance. At least I think it is. And of course, sometimes it depends on how many hits you need. The more hits you need on a target, it seems, the more likely you are to get a critical shot. If you manage to get a headshot, you do even better. Except you can't really depend on headshots, Well, you sort of can with something like this. If you creep up the...
Stay focused.
If you creep the shooting up the target, or down, or go from sufficiently high enough that a headshot's almost inevitable. I don't like doing too much. That works actually fairly well. So... And of course there is the thing that just because you're getting high damage doesn't necessarily mean you want the critical. You're going to get the criticals.
Extraction is ready.
So
Unless you can handle more of the enemy. That's the last of them. Objective
that's
is secure.
moderately worthwhile, that. I mean, I'm still not happy. I would actually have a much higher fire rate, because that increases your chance for actually getting your shots in.
Ready to kick bottom.
I mean, that's not bad damage, but then you see, yes, I could maximize that, but then my criticals and my status wouldn't necessarily be as high, and the fire rate and the multi-shot wouldn't be as high. So again, what I've done is said, okay, my reload is very fast, I'm not going to worry about that, so I will abandon magazine capacity. Is it working? Yeah. Will it work better? If I can get that maxed up, that will work even better still. Do any of these have anything? Yeah, I can apply a fire rate mod, but then I'll lose a different one, a combined fire rate mod. I mean, if you have a look, for example, at accelerated isotope, which is the other one that does. Yes, you know, I could put that on, but then my fire rate drops. And then you have to ask the question, well, was that worth it? Which is what I'm going to try.
Knock.
Stop it, Ordis.
Would be knocking all the way.
So the damage has gone up,
Oh, but
radiation's
I
increased,
don't think you should answer that.
but my fire rate's dropped. All right, is that worth it? I don't know. Let's go try. See, that's the whole point about my fiddling with this. I'm trying to do a somewhat more, balanced approach. What am I going to be happy with? I think I've seen this damage go up to 9,000, but then my criticals and everything else were tanked somewhat. So what we're going to do is go back and actually see how it performs. But one thing's for sure, I am most definitely, if that critical is being applied possibly per shot, and I drop the number of shots I'm getting on target, then the chance has gone down. For single shots, okay, not bad. Can I live with that? Is it worth doing the way I've done it? Apparently so. I mean, I may, by doing this, just come to the conclusion, you know what, just go and... Or I could just let the razor wings do the damage. Is there a way to max razor wing damage? Because there are certainly situations where having the razor wings do the damage is quite worthwhile.
Be rewarded for your bravery.
When your fire rate is down, it seems. I can't be sure, obviously. Yeah, you are going to get fewer chances of things like critical and status effects. You know, if you're getting 10 rounds a second, and then you drop it down to 5 rounds a second, we seem to have a we got a problem with the host, I think. Unfortunately, the only way of really finding out is to do these things over and over so you actually see the effects. Sorry.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting? We're done here. The extraction team will take over from here. Time to evacuate.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you know what? I tried to find the simulation room yesterday. That's with Cephalon Samaras, isn't it? And I think I think that's right. I don't have it unlocked at the moment. I've got to do more work for him. So... yeah, so I could take this and replace it with Ice Storm, for example. That will drop my... yeah, that obviously drops my damage by a significant factor, but my magazine capacity's gone up. Is that worth it? Not necessarily, no. What else am I prepared to compromise? Grief. So if I were to replace, yeah, pathogen rounds, okay, am I prepared to put in pistol pestilence instead? Is that worth it? Damage is down, status goes up. Is it worth it? I don't know.
This reminds the operator to take time for themselves. Pressure creates diamonds, yes, but it also creates rubble.
Not sure about that one. Critical chance. Yeah, I've got barrel diffusion on. I mean, that's almost a must-have to get the fire rate up. How do I pronounce your name? Would that be Freya good? So do I want to increase my status chance but drop my damage? I actually really don't know. I'm assuming that's about, yeah, that's 11. Yeah. That is 660 rounds a minute, which is not massively high for machine pistols in normal real world machine pistols. Is it worth getting that improvement in status? Only one way to find out. Let's let's go back and find out. See if I can see a huge difference.
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return covered in blood.
Interesting thing is, 660 rounds a minute, actually not bad for a machine gun. I mean, it's actually about middle of the road for a lot of them. But the funny thing is, if you have a stable machine gun, the interesting thing about machine guns is actually a balance. You've got limited magazine capacity, but if you can get a bunch of rounds on target very quickly, you might do well. Of course, real-life machine pistols don't work very well, but we'll ignore that. But something like the Glock or Beretta machine pistols have very high fire rates and very poor accuracy. Controlling it's almost impossible. They look cool, but that's about your lot. Well, that certainly does the job when you're not getting the criticals. Works. I really ought to do something like an extermination on the Zaraman with this, see how that works out. I have not run Titania Prime on the Zaraman or against the Murmur, now that I think about it. And I would be quite happy to trade damage against criticals if the damage was enough and overrode critical percentage. What? You mean Roth in the Descendia? Because I did that yesterday.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?
I'm assuming you mean the Descendia. So.
Very impressive, Tenno. You held them all.
Yeah, like I say, I did that yesterday. With an invisible. Yeah, the status effects I was getting as a result of the buffs I think Marie gave me were fairly significant. So yeah, I ran Descendia yesterday. Yeah, you know what? Let's go have a look at the Zaraman. Oh yeah, let's do an exterminate on the Zaraman. That might be educational. What have we got here? We have... Nope. Yes, this one. Let's actually set this up for corrosion. See how that works. See if I can get myself set up for corrosion properly.
Saddle up!
I can never remember. It's pistol. Okay, convulsion and pathogen rounds. So suddenly, pop that off. Put convulsion on. That's not bad. What have I got this instead? No, that's the only thing I've got for electricity is convulsion. Do I want radiation damage as well? Seeing as I want the fire rate, I could stick with that. But I could do better, you see. I could actually go with pathogen rounds. That would give me substantially more damage, but my status effect. Do you know what? That might actually be pretty good. Let's give that a bash. Where's the fight gone? Oh, it certainly does the job. Come on, I can't get through there. I'm small. That certainly does the job for this. I don't get to complain too much. I've already got dagger. Yeah, it certainly does the damage. Okay, I mean, it's not steel path, but it works. It definitely works. Okay,
Nice.
that definitely
Hitting them
works.
hard enough, and eventually they get it.
All right. But yeah, I know. At this point, I would typically go and raid the place for everything else, but I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to see, okay, this works. I mean, that's no harder than doing it my usual method, which would be with the Gauss Prime, lots of melee and lots of explosions from an Atarok. So, yeah,
Another
definitely
job
seems to
well
work.
executed.
Yeah. I'm kind of liking that, actually. Alright. So, I do need, then, to rank up the stuff that I've got. Get some better primed stuff, you know, all the usual. And take it from there, see how that works for me. This is all working, right? Let me... That is a Warframe. I'll probably end up grinding for it eventually. I don't particularly like it. Not because it's bad or anything, just because I personally don't like the look of it. I think it looks daft. So does Citrine, come to that.
No contamination on any of this gear. At least not the dangerous kind.
Do you know, I just fast track to these. I don't normally just, well, I have not actually had a wander around here. Huh. I like the skin. Hello, it's Roth. Roath?
Got a minute, Tenno?
Yeah, it's been a very long time since I actually just wandered around the Zaraman. Yeah. Alright. So... let's see. Nothing I need from Cavallero, is there?
Oh, rubber. All weapons guaranteed void touched.
Ah, now. Ah. This actually... That's interesting. I didn't realize I wasn't at Angel. Okay. This actually could be useful. What else have we got? Oh, that's for amps. I need... Oh, I think I found something to grind for.
Not
I'd like to
feeling
get...
Stay sharp.
Let's go have a word with Quince.
Is now a fortress on the threshold. We should be doing more to recognize your...
Ah, I need Thrax Plasma. And presumably... Okay, so I do have something to grind for. And obviously that needs to be a little bit higher. Yeah, okay. I might have tried... Yeah, getting my standing up's not a problem. Getting...
Let's go forward in mutual
Yeah,
trust.
Thrax Plasm. Actually, that is something I could use. Let's see. I'm not doing this one. Because I want to do this with yeah. Without abilities. Flying is an ability. I hate doing this one. Not because I don't like the fighting the Void Angels, but... Yeah.
Go and visit hell
Let's go
upon
and,
them.
let's go and give this a bash. Got something to grind for now.
Welcome to the Warframe. Wait and do not inquire.
The more Argosine you have, the more armaments you can construct. Protect your exodampers! Dropping off an Argosine canister. Defensive ordnance complete! Construction complete! Exodamper made it, but they'll be back. They're throwing more losers at you. Topping up nearby Argosine. And is looking to snack on the relic.
Where's the Void Angel? There. Oh boy. This is going to be interesting. Never fought a Void Angel like this.
Is trying to retreat into the void so it can heal. Follow it and stop it. You can't hurt it while those dimensional orbs are out. Use your void body to absorb it. That's the way. Break it down, body and soul. Don't give these fools your slaughter in a second thought. The void's already starting to take them. I can feel it. Do not let this wave of scum take out that exodamper.
Not very good for taking down Void Angels.
More Argosine. Don't waste it.
It works, sort of. Moderately well.
hitting an exo damper. Hit them first. Resupply it.
Okay, I'm actually quite happy with this in terms of an approach to... It works.
Don't let up. More no marks incoming.
It does work. It definitely does work.
Argosine canister inbound.
And it's still fun. Okay, I genuinely don't have much to complain about. Doing the job. Okay, conclusion. Does the job for non-prime missions. Goodie. There's the Void Angel.
Reading Void Angel's signature.
This is where I really don't work too well. While in flight mode with oh, I don't know.
The angel is trying to retreat into the void so it can heal. Follow it and stop it.
That wasn't me, was it? Yes, it was me.
Good. Now it'll stay. Some breathing space and a share of what we were able to loot from them.
That's,
Extract
I mean,
when you're ready.
that works fairly well. Okay, I'm not really going to complain about that. I'm assuming everybody's getting out of here.
Reckon you could use more Argosine?
Yeah, everyone's leaving. Okay. I'm happy with the approach. It's pretty much not that different from the one I was doing previously. But I can definitely live with that. I've already got the Gaia. And the Gaia Prime. And the Gaia's been fed to the helmet. It's a very quiet day online. Look what is going on. Who's online? It's kind of looking to see. That's my. No, I think he won't be. Okay, Prakash. He's been off. Pseudo is. Oh, good grief, Pseudo? What have you been doing? Oh, I was going to say Jerry's been playing Warframe. That's my son. Hopefully he's been working schoolwork, I mean. Alright, okay, so yeah, I know I'm repeating myself. I am moderately happy with the way this works. Now that I've more or less satisfied myself with that, I should have a go at I should take a look at the other weapon, because I have been using the machine pistols as the primary, and I need to take a look at the Dewata Prime
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return
and do the same kind of thing with this, I'm guessing. I mean, this is basically doing what I normally do. I don't know why they have slam attack. Can you do a slam attack with the Dewata in flight? Anyway, I'm gonna take a quick break, go to the toilet, that kind of thing, and I will be back in a couple of minutes. Right, and I'm back. I think, yeah, I nearly forgot that. So, let's, oh, just for the heck of it, let's set this up with viral. Yeah, that's a normal one. Primed Fever Strike, North Wind. Let's take off that. So I've just got viral. And let us... Pressure point is melee damage, which I want. Quickening. Yes, I want that. Gladiator Vice. Kind of want that because I like attack speed. Organ Shatter. That's useful. It's a shame we don't have Tenakai on this. Do heavy attacks even work with... Yes, they do. Can't do slam attacks. So... yeah, Razor Wing. That's too useful not to have. So let us see if we can increase our critical damage. Galvanized Steel. What's that? 110% chance? No. Critical damage? No, that's the same thing. I could do slightly better, but no, not enough to worry about. I got that I can primed heavy trauma. Ooh, that actually might be worth having. What is my primary damage? Impact and collision force? Now this is the problem, of course. What did I take off? Yeah. It's not fantastic at the damage, is it? Why do they have slam attack on here? I can't do slam attacks. Not with this, not while I'm flying. This is my fairly normal kind of setup for this sort of weapon too. Yeah, if I kicked that up, that would improve things somewhat. Oh, let's stick. Oh, let's see. And critical chance goes to... Oops. Oh, I forgot about status effects. What's my status effects on this? Not very good. So, yeah, and then yeah, when I do defaults, I typically say, well, what do they do? Puncture slash, which isn't great. The primary is puncture, so I've got jugular spurs, under strike, so on and so forth, while I mutter to myself. And so let's get our attack speed up. Yeah, that's not fantastic. Right, reach. Oh no, this isn't going to work, is it? Oh, it is. Wow, that's a heck of a reach. I'm very tempted to keep that just for the reach. I wish that would affect other things. So yeah, you can see what I've done here. Pretty much maximized puncture and then tried... Yeah, then I spent more time on attack speed and range. It's not fantastic. I don't normally use this particular sort of configuration. Why have I got 3 reaches set to max? That does not make any sense at all. That is just plain silly. Yeah, you can see I've pretty much gone all out on the puncture damage. What about a critical chance? Sacrificial steel would be good to stick somewhere. Oh, yeah. Of course not. Can I improve things a bit? Yes, I can. No, I can't. I might be able to. This isn't going to work. Oh, it is. There we go. Slightly better. Yeah, it's not really worth fiddling with. I need to change my former for this, I think, at some point. This isn't fantastic weapon, unfortunately. Yeah, and actually I don't bother with heavy attacks so much with this one because, well, no, that's actually that's probably more practice than anything else. Hold on, let's leave it at that. And yeah, that's about as good as I can get that for now. Okay, that's the drone damage. Which is not fantastic, is it? It does a pretty good job. How do you... Is there a way to improve drone damage? I've not looked this up. Hmm. Oh, that's interesting. It says here, basically, mods on the Exalted Duata boost Titania's Razorfly drone damage. Really? That's interesting. Okay, let's remove all. Alright. Go back, take a look. No. So right now, drone damage there is at 104, it says. Now, according to the internet, mods applied to Titania's Exalted Duata affect the drones. Alright. That's what it says. So, let's do that. And it says here to focus on intensify true steel organ shatter. Okay. And the slash. Alright. Let's try this. Let's go for some slash and see whether that actually makes any difference. And all right. Let's go see whether that did make any difference to drone damage. Oh, hang on. Not that I can tell. 104. You've got to be kidding, right? Well, I'm willing to try it. Let's see whether... Let's assume that I'm actually doing something to the drones. So, given that they do slash damage and what have you, let's see whether that really works. Oh, hang on a second. Let's see if Buzzkill actually goes on. It does. I mean, I know this particular weapon doesn't do that, but I'm going with what it says. Let's go and have a look at critical damage. Galvanized steel can go on. Malcolm organ shatter. No, just go with organ. Yeah, might as well. Status. No, status effects are for... Okay, no status effects worth putting on. Galvanized elementalist. I didn't make any difference to it. Oh, wait a minute. Do you get a status effect from slash? Okay, who knows? And... Alright, so all that's on there, based on the assumption that I'm reading here, that these are supposed to affect... Oh great, we've got a hotfix inbound. I don't have intensify. But I'm not actually seeing any effect of that. Do I have to be holding Duata when it happens? Or what? Let's I know I've got a hotfix coming up. I'm going to get into... Let's go to the void and have a little bit of a test. See what happens. Let the razor wings, razor flies do the damage. See if it... makes any difference. Difficult to tell, to be honest. Might actually. I'm just looking at razor wing damage here. They are rather amusingly effective. What? I think
was a close one.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting? Continue to defend.
I didn't know
Rewarded for your bravery.
until just now that the razor wings were affected by Dewata mobs. And given that I don't tend to use the Dewata except when I'm reloading. It's kind of amusing just to watch them go. There's been a few mastery rank tests where I literally just flew around and let the razor wings take care of things. Alright, so was a way to increase the number of drones. How much longer have I got?
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy.
Alright, as we have...
Objective is secure. Let's go home.
So, what? In case, for those who have recently joined, I am fiddling, as usual, with... Okay, yeah, I've actually got to restart. So, just to give you a rough idea of what I'm doing, I am told that Duata Prime mods affect the Razor Wings, which is what I'm interested in doing right now. So rather than configure this for the Duata Prime itself, I'm modifying it for specifically for the Razor Wings, Razor Flies, I should say, for her drone damage. So we'll see how that works out. So I will be back in a couple of minutes. I'm going to have to exit the game, restart, and so on and so forth. So I'll be back in a couple. Right, and the upgrade has gone in. I have no idea what it does, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. So, oh, this is irritating. My mouse has gone off screen. Okay, that works. So, yeah, what was I doing? I was actually trying, and here's what the internet says, as we know what the internet is like. Mods applied to the Pixia Prime can affect the Razorfly drones. So, let's give that a bash. Yeah. Okay, this is slightly different damage. Modding. Okay. I swear. Yeah, here we go. Puncture, impact puncture slash melee slash. Modu Duata. Avoid impact, puncture, and status. Okay, so let's remove all. And we will go for slash damage. Avoid impact, puncture, and status mods. So, okay, slash. We're going to go with slash. Fine. And what else have I got? Jagged edge. And it's pretty much Carnus Mandible plus 90% slash. Status doesn't work apparently, but if I'm focusing on slash damage, speed attacks also work apparently, so we'll go with Fury. And quickening. And Gladiator Vice. And Magnetic Rush. And yeah, because that deals with the attack speed. And critical damage. What have I got for critical damage? Sacrificial Steel. Yeah, I know. And Organ Shatter would be Galvanized Steel. It's 110%. Okay, so we will stick that on. What's my lowest? Yeah, let's put Galvanized Steel on. Oh, I can't have Galvanized Steel. Of course I can't. Can't have Galvanized Steel, so Organ Shatter. It says. But don't bother with status, it says. So we have optimized for slash and for critical damage, for critical chance, for attack speed. Let's see. True Steel, Organ Shatter, Sacrificial Steel, Prime Fury, Fury Quickening. Condition Overload apparently works quite well. So let's see, do I have that on there? Condition overload. Why would condition overload work when they actually say, oh, slash damage is affected by per status type? Well, what have I got up here that might help? Yeah. That's not going to help at all. No. All right. And I'll leave that on. Avoid impact puncture status chance mods. Okay. Avoid Berserker Fury. Yes, I want ability strength. Summoner's Wrath. I don't have Summoner's Wrath, do I? Nope. And Razor Wing Blitz. Ooh. I've actually got that on something else sometimes. And then for Titan. Okay, so we'll try that. That's about as good as I can get it. As I said, assuming this is for Razorflies. Which, that's what it says. And Razor Wing Blitz apparently is recommended. Yeah, that would actually probably work quite well. So, I do want to keep strength. Probably range. What can I as ability strength? As efficiency, what I wish to keep. Duration, actually. Yeah, it's not actually changing. I think that's... I think duration does affect that. It does. It does. Yeah, you can actually see that it does stretch. That's the range aspect. Let's stick Razor Wing Blitz on. See. Alright. I can always put stretch back on. Let's go see if I can actually observe any particular difference. I'm sorry, you're not getting a lot of action today. Although just being around does show up caches and what have you. Alright, let's go see what the Razor Wings do on their own like that. It's actually kind of funny. Well, certainly seems to work, but I can't tell if it's actually how much better it really is.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy. Continue to defend. You will be rewarded for your bravery.
This is the kind of weird thing. Achilles just sits there when I'm in flight mode. definitely work, but I'm not sure to what extent they're actually affected by the changes. It's not a huge difference. I will say one thing. One thing I do find very useful, when in 1999 you're doing or one of those challenges, kill X number of enemies with abilities, the razor wings really help. Probably up to the squad now. Sounded positively rude.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?
I'm learning. This
Keep
is stuff I
fighting.
had
Another
absolutely
opportunity to extract will
no
appear.
idea about. This time yesterday. I mean, yeah, mods I kind of... Yeah, obviously I knew about mods, but the idea that you could actually mod the razor wings, that didn't occur to me. Well, have a go at this guy. Not sure what they actually focus on, to be honest. This is wow, that's actually pretty good. I mean, the interesting thing is that they are attempting to attack the razor flies. I keep calling them razor wings, for which I apologize. Does the job, don't they? And they get distracted. I mean, they're not as fast as actually shooting them yourself, but definitely worthwhile.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy. Very impressive, Tenno. You have them all back. Time to get out of here.
Well, you learn something new every day. Let's see what else I've got there. So, is this a basic rule of thumb for Titania? It's becoming one for me. Max out your flight. I'm not sure if range... Hang on a second. Does range affect flight? I haven't been able to tell that it does. I don't have condition overload. Do I? Pretty certain I don't have condition overload, which is really strange because it's not an unfamiliar name to me. I do have condition overload. Okay. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, of course I did. Oh! Oh, I didn't even know I had that. Let me just dissolve these.
Now to test it in the field. Onward!
And hang on. What does condition overload go on? Oh, must be the Duata. Huh. What does it want me to stick it on? What would I put it on? Quickening? Drop the attack speed a bit. Doesn't have an immediate obvious thing.
Operator, the system needs you. Will you begin another mission?
Let's try that. Is there anything I can stick on here that I just to use up the extras? Do I want to stick parry on? The thing about this is, if you're flying, you don't really get a chance to do finishes, do you? Do I have anything here that might help? No, that's puncture. No. 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 That's an interesting one. No. Okay, we'll stick with that. Alright, let's see whether I can actually see any difference with condition overload. Yeah, this is going to have to be the last thing I do. After... What's this hotfix do? Let's just have a quick look. Skin-specific armor? No. Void cascade spawns. Okay, I've never gone into the conclave. No. Okay, I'm not seeing anything here that I've had a particular problem with. Okay, I think we're all good there. Shift tab. Not helpful. There we go. Right. So, like I say, this is going to have to be the last time. And this is just to see whether condition overload makes any difference. And I don't know that I'll be able to see it.
Our position has been compromised. Defend the cargo until reinforcements arrive.
I hope we're ready for this.
There they go. I don't know whether that really helped or not. I'm not really seeing a huge amount of difference, to be honest with you. Yeah, you can use the machine pistols as a sniper weapon, which is endlessly amusing to me.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?
Right, seeing as it's only three of us left.
Another
I'll be a little bit more
opportunity to
proactive than
extract
just.
will appear soon.
Oh, that's a nice art. Ankle biter mode.
Maybe this will change your mind.
Oh, someone decided to try and kill me. Again. Yeah. Sorry about that. Remember one time that happened and I never noticed the attacks everybody else piled on them. It was hilarious. Because I was like, what happened? And then somebody told me that those rolling ball things had showed up. I never even saw them.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy. Continue to defend. You will be rewarded for your bravery.
think his skull popped out of his cranium. Okay, it has to be said, when your weapon manages to do 7,000 damage, you're not doing too badly. I mean, it's not as impressive as when you manage to do millions of damage, but, you know, it's not that bad. Yeah, and there is no critical. Although that's slightly terrifying. To start trading for some better mods at some point, or grinding for them, or both. See what I can come up with. I need to make a list. I actually need to start thinking about making a list of stuff. I'll tell you what, one of the most terrifying things you can have in the game is...
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?
Is an invisible Titania Prime.
We're done here.
I got that as a status effect yesterday during Descendia. Yeah, you don't want that hanging around your face, I can tell you. Right, okay, well that was educational for me. I don't know about anybody else. But I actually have to now get on. In fact, first thing I need to do... I can't be bothered. No. I will find Achilles, see if he wants a hug. You always hug your Kavat. And Achilles is literally my good luck charm because he's a charmed Smita Kavat. Aren't you? Yes. So, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. If anybody thinks I might be doing the long dark tomorrow at 9 AM, and normally I would, tomorrow I will not. I'm meeting my mother for lunch in Preston. So, that being said, Warframe will be back tomorrow evening and probably at 5 AM tomorrow morning, even though that's not technically scheduled. Hope you all have a good day. Thank you for watching. See you all next time.